Action! Background extras. Background extras. It's a full cinema thing, this. Good morning.
Tim Fitzhigham.
Yes.
Thank you very much for coming back.
That's me, thank you.
You are a return visitor
I am.
to the picnic.
Year 2. It's exciting, isn't it? You've really splashed out this year. You've got all these extras. Can't quite believe the expense you've gone to. But the same table.
Same table, yeah. Well, we have to be a bit retro as well.
Of course.
You know, a nod to our
Remember where
past.
you've come from.
Exactly.
Yes, exactly.
Well, thank you very much for coming back.
It's a pleasure.
You were saying it's a mental day for you.
It is pretty today, yes, it is.
So I'm very thankful. Really.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? I think it's the 7 ages of man. That's what I'm doing in one day. I'm starting with babies and kids, and I'm going through to the very elderly, probably mid-afternoon, and then I'm going through to the younger end, or the middle-aged people at the probably at the 2 o'clock in the morning end, I guess.
So your actual show, you've
yes,
got one show, is
I
that
have.
right?
Yes, indeed, the solo show.
This is your
That's the important show.
This is Challenger.
It is, yes, the Challenger. Yes.
And it's a family show?
Yes, it is.
That's accurate.
Written quite specifically to be a family show this year. I did a television thing this year for CBBC, for children's television, and so I sort of became aware just of doing gigs generally that a lot more children were turning up to see me do stuff than probably had ever done before. And so I thought, well, that's great, that's brilliant, that is an extra audience, that's great, I'll take anyone. And so I thought if I write the show a bit more, that, you know, not that I've ever been, you know, a massively sweary, you know, breasts out comedian, but you know, occasionally maybe I've accidentally said something rude, but this year there's no, you know, I've been very tight with it, and there's nothing in Challenger that I wouldn't be happy putting any children I knew in the middle of.
You're not going to be getting your breasts out?
I won't, I promise that. I will not be getting my breasts out in the show.
Have you ever been tempted to in a show?
I think it probably has happened in the past. I'm not going to say no, just in case I have. Maybe that's happened in the past.
But ideally not.
Not this year, no. This is that's not the year for it.
So Challenger is that you have a whole load of wacky ideas, and it's you exploring these, it's telling about them.
It's basically the most unrelentingly positive hour of comedy. I think I've never been brilliant at the kind of negative, oh, you know, this is a bit rubbish, oh, that's a bit rubbish, oh, that's a bit... I've never been very good at that. I've never really enjoyed it either. I think there's only so much of it you can sit through in an hour. You can't sit through an hour of somebody just running everything down. It's too much. And so I have always been more positive about things. I kind of go, this is brilliant, and sometimes it messes up. But I'm very positive. My starting point is always unbelievably enthusiastic and positive. And Challenger is it's probably the most positive show I've ever written. It's saying, I've done these challenges. I've done 32 challenges this year to form the basis of the show. So I can feel very confident that I know what I'm talking about, and I've been through challenges, and the people believe and accept that I've done that. And then I talk about their challenges. People may have got challenges that they wanted to do, they've not managed to do them yet, or they've not got round to it, or maybe there's a problem that they've hit or whatever. And I try and bring all that into the show every day. So people talk about their challenges, I talk about mine, and by the end we work out that challenges are great and that we should try and take them on and hopefully enthuse people about going forward and doing their challenges.
So it's a community feel about it?
I hope so, yeah, that's what it's meant to be,
yeah. And so all of these challenges that you've done as well, does it make it feel so much more honest for you, that it's stuff that you've lived through?
Yeah, oh yeah, no, well that's the only way it works for me. I'm not someone who can really do comedy about, you know, I'm an imaginary boy in an imaginary toy shop, you know, I'm not very good at that. So I like to go out, live something, and then tell people about it, so that I'm very clear that, you know, I've done it and I can report back. Almost like expeditionary comedy. That's what it is. Let's call it that. You heard it here first. Expeditionary comedy. I just thought that out.
Well, that's very true, because I mean that's the thrust of most of the shows that you've been involved with. Would you ever consider doing something else? Would you think there'll be a moment when you kind of feel like you've done that in your life?
Oh yeah, probably. Yeah, but we're not there yet. We're not there yet. So it's no, Challenger is very much about challenge, and it's trying to get people, empower people maybe, to get off and do challenges. And of course I've done things like the paper boat journey and the bathtub journey. We don't go into those so much in this show because there's 32 other challenges to go into. So it's quite hard to cram 32 challenges into the hour, but we sort of manage it.
Are there any challenges that you set your audience? Do you kind of confront them and challenge them?
Well, not so much confront. if they, I mean, it's almost about unlocking them, isn't it? If they have a challenge that they maybe haven't quite got round to, then I explore that challenge with them. And maybe, we had a lady the other day who, whose ambition was to drive across Australia, but I got the wrong end of the stick completely and thought she meant to drive a golf ball across Australia. And so this confusion arose, and by the end of it, she came up to me afterwards and she said, "You know what, I think I might drive a golf ball across Australia." So the challenge had been explored to such an extent that she had gone on from just going, "Oh, I'm just going to drive across Australia," and now she's going to golf across Australia, which is a really nice idea. So she's off for that. That's great.
So, having this new audience of the kids,
Yeah.
do you consider them quite a new audience, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, it's not just children that watch the television show, but it was primarily aimed at children. And when I say children, I mean they're not even, they're up to about 16 or so, so they're not, not necessarily children in the tiny sense. But then some tiny kids watch it as well, so it's nice to have that. It's fantastic because kids are brilliant and they're really liberating, and they always say exactly things as they are, which I really like about it. There's a real honesty there.
Is there a certain unpredictability about them as well?
Yeah, that's great. That's a great thing.
Yes, yeah.
You want that in a show. Unpredictability is always great in a show. I think, in my shows anyway.
So it's added something. It's added something extra. You feel that the show's enriched because of this new audience.
Absolutely, definitely. I mean, it's brilliant to have more kids coming to my shows, because normally it's been a sort of a 20 upwards demographic, and up quite a long way. I mean, the 98 or whatever is not out of the question for me, but it's very much been a sort of 2018 up, and now we've got slightly lower down, and that's brilliant. And they've really opened stuff up. It's been great. It's been really great. We had a girl in the other day who I said, what is the challenge you want to do? What's the challenge you want to do? She went, I would like to dye my nan's cats pink, green and yellow. And I was like, wow. And you don't get an adult maybe sitting there and going, I know what I'd really like to do is you see those 3 cats? I'd like to dye those pink, yellow and purple or whatever colours. And it's absolutely brilliant. So that kind of stuff comes out, and then we play with that on stage and we have fun with it. And that's really nice.
So Challenger is the show. Where is it?
Yes, the Pleasance.
The Pleasance?
The Igloo on the Green. The only inflatable venue in Edinburgh, which is fantastic, because if it rains, which it will any minute, it's the only venue that floats. So it's well worth coming to see for that.
So you strategically planned it?
Yes, I did. So if everything goes wrong and there's a huge big thunderstorm and all the other venues are flooded, my show will still happen. It may change location midway through the show, but it will still happen. That's what I'm saying.
Thank you for coming to the picnic.
Thank you.
The Windy picnic.
Yeah.
Help yourself to a biscuit if you like.
It might be the Jaffa Cakes. Fantastic. I might just have a Jaffa Cake.
Why
Lovely.
not?
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Nice to see you again. Second year. Hurrah.
Pleasure.
Thank you.